Maybe I put my arm behind you.
I don't want to be in front of you.
I don't mind it because then we can both fit.
Hey, folks, Lester and Jamie here. I think we're live on both platforms. Nancy, I'm going to highlight your little comment because Nancy's like saying, "Can you all see my name? Can y'all see my name?" Nancy, we see your name. The reason we haven't we weren't replying is because we hadn't gone live yet, and so no matter what we say, you wouldn't be able to see what we're saying until now. And now, yes, Nancy, we can see your name. I hope that Nancy wasn't afraid she'd been blocked or banned or something. That's been a
She might not
big.
have been even talking to us. She might have been talking to other people. She might have had
No,
something
she was
else.
talking to us.
Oh, okay.
Anyway, Nancy, ma'am, we can Nancy on Facebook,
YouTube.
YouTube, we can see your name. So thank you all for joining us on the Sanctuary Sunday, the second of the new year, if I'm not mistaken,
The
because
second Sunday.
the second Sunday, our second edition of Sanctuary Sunday in the new 2023. How has the new year been treating you?
I can't like give a bunch of negative or anything like that. Like, it's better than 2022 started out. So good. You?
Oh, everything's good. I think everything's fine. No complaints here. I'm just trying to think about
Like,
2022. How would you even know? How does anyone remember what happened the first week of 2022?
because I spent the first week looking for Sookie last year.
Oh, that was a year ago. So that would be bigger for
Yeah.
you than what everyone else would be. Because I don't know how many people can actually think back to a year ago and what they were doing. But you're right. That was a week of a lot of driving around, a lot of looking. And yeah, I'm sorry to bring that up. I
I know.
didn't
I'm
mean to
like,
bring
how?
that up.
But it's okay.
So,
It's okay.
so how about you guys? Who wants to talk about your first week of 2023 and how it's going? Hi, Pamela Williams. Can I say hi to Pamela Williams real fast?
Somebody just said they had spine surgery at the beginning of 2022.
Ow!
So
So you
23 is
would
going much
know.
better.
You would know that also. A lot of folks are being very kind, saying hi.
Says you're not
Um,
live on Longhorn Lester YouTube.
no, I didn't go live on Longhorn Lester YouTube, and I'm having. Oh, I don't want to get into that right now.
That's okay. I just was
Um,
letting you. I didn't know you didn't do it. So somebody, Beverly says that her Dr. Pepper kept me up all night. So it's your fault.
why is that my fault? Is Beverly blaming me for that?
No, just me.
Oh, just you.
You're
Okay.
the horrible influencer who drinks Dr. Pepper on every single live, and they all want to be like in the they like makes them crave it. I think.
Oh, it's a very addicting soda, and from what I've heard and from what I've read, Dr. Pepper has some addicting qualities to it. Or is that even a quality? Some addictive properties. We'll say addictive properties. I'm not promoting an addiction, but I would say I'd rather have this addiction than a lot of other ones that people have to struggle through.
It's true.
So, and I am good to only having one a day on most days. There's an occasion where I need two, but by and large, I'm just drinking one. And that's better than what I was doing a year ago. That's for sure.
It is true. There's a lot of people who had surgeries at the beginning of last year. So it's really interesting to me. I didn't know that January was such a big procedure month.
Yeah. We are excited. The lady who just commented, so I'm just going to go ahead.
Millie?
I'm just going to go ahead and say that I really have a hard time seeing the Facebook comments. So I'm going to ask you to watch the Facebook comments.
Okay.
And if there's anything nice about me, make sure you highlight it and bring it up and really put it out
Hold
there.
on. First, I'm going to go highlight Millie.
We're going to have to highlight Millie. So what's happened is Millie has already eaten, but now we fed the cats. Millie's eaten all of her food, and now she wants the cat food, but she's scared of the cats. So she thinks she can just bark long enough, and all the cats will finally leave, and then she can jump on the counter, because she'll do that, and pull the cat food down to the floor. She's done that, and eat it all.
So
And that's
Millie's gotten
Millie.
so big that she actually doesn't have to jump very much anymore at all. She kind of just stretches her neck a little bit, which is terrible for us. Terrible.
So a comment on baby. Can we just put Millie outside for a little bit? Jamie put the cat food further back, and that has not stopped Millie. Millie is still on the counter. I wish I could turn this camera on and show y'all what she's doing. Millie, our sweet Millie, is on the counter. Um, Millie is nothing like Fiona. Fiona is a really good girl. Fiona is a really good girl, and Millie's not a good girl. Baby, she's going to go right back to the counter again. I know her.
No, she took it with her. I'm choking on my own spit.
So a commenter said, "Why are we dressed so different? Why do I look so warm and you seem fine?" So I've been outdoors. It's fairly chilly outside.
Lester also has shorts on with his. He's got winter up top and summer on the bottom, and I'm opposite. I have pants on, and this. I had a jacket on earlier, and I got busy cleaning and decided to ditch that for a little bit. That
So
might fall.
I know. So it's funny that no, my lower body doesn't really get cold. My upper body gets cold. My lower body doesn't, and so I can often wear shorts with the hoodie and be completely fine. As long as I have my fuzzy Crocs, I'm good down below. And now Millie's trying to love on us to see if we'll give her even more of that food.
This is her sorry. She's sorry that she barked and got out of control and kind of lost her mind a little bit. She has an addiction too. That's all. She just wanted everybody to know she's addicted to dog food and cat food. And
I feel like with all of the new additions to the farm, sometimes we overlook animals. You know, some of the ones like Millie and Fiona, and I hate that. But think about it. Since Christmas, we've gotten Christmas. We've gotten the kitties, the rescued kitties from Uncle Dan. We haven't gotten, but we spend a lot more time and focus a lot more of our energy on our little turkey, Al Davis. And if you think about it, when you take all of those different animals and you combine them, then we've had a sick horse in Dixie. I don't want to say sick, but she's not been well, so sick. And so ultimately, sometimes Millie, gosh darn it, is back on the counter. She's on our kitchen.
Whatever.
She's on our kitchen counter. How can you not look at a 100-pound dog who's standing on our kitchen counter because she wants the cat food? Jamie is going to just ignore her.
Listen, you pick your battles, and I have chosen that is not my battle in this moment right now.
Oh my gosh. But no, I am kind of going to be squirrel. Every time I see it up on the counter, I'm going to freak out about it. But good to see you all. Happy Sunday. And we love Millie and Fiona, but I will say that Fiona is a really good girl. And Millie has some
demeanor is just so different. Millie has, okay, if I were to compare kids or people to our dogs, Lester is Millie. Millie is Lester. They can't sit still. They're into everything. They're always stirring the pot. They're literally all up in your business, like doing all the time. And it's not meant to be mean or anything like that.
That's not mean, Jamie. That's not mean.
I still love you. Doesn't make me love you less. And Fiona is the calm, cool, collected voice of reason and a little bit like me. We didn't talk about that before. Why are you turning so red? Look how red.
I feel like Carl right now. Like I'm gonna turn into a Carl and start hissing at any minute.
Your comments are paused over here.
Oh, I didn't mean to pause our comments. Anyway, Millie and Fiona are wonderful additions to I'm a Survivor Sanctuary. They will be staying here at the sanctuary because they do great work here. They're very protective of all of the babies here. And we've left Christmas and Trixie at Longhorn Lester's because they seem to work out best over there.
I wish that I just had
oh my gosh. Here comes Millie out of the pantry with a bag of my beef jerky. I'm putting her outside. Jamie, continue on. I'll be right back.
All I was going to say is there's this rescue guy named Asher who literally carries, he rescues dogs, right? But I see him in his van and he always has dogs in the back. And I would love to be able to have that van and just take the dogs with us every time that we go somewhere. However, Fiona hates the car. She hates to go near it, to ride in it. It gives her great stress, and I can't do that. So they're parked here. I would love to bring them everywhere to go back and forth and for them to be able to adapt to each place.
We're not buying a van to haul dogs back and forth. We're not going to do that. There.
Anyway, way to just come on in and we're not doing this. I already said that it's not possible. No. I already took control of the whole, it's not real.
Wow. Now I can finally try to gain my composure and start the live after how long are we in? 13 minutes in,
Did you
and
even
we're
say,
just
hey,
now.
folks, Lester and Jamie here?
I don't even know what I'm doing. Hey, folks, it's Lester and Jamie here, and welcome to Sanctuary Sunday. And sorry, let's talk about the evolution of relationships. Let's talk about the evolution of relationships because that was something that I had jotted down on my list. Jamie and I always we kind of pre-plan when we're doing our Sanctuary Sundays. When we do a regular live, Jamie's Timeout Tuesday, Longhorn Lester, the lunch with Longhorn Lester, or random things, we always have just whatever we're going to do. That's what we talk about. No pre-prep planning whatsoever. But for Sanctuary Sundays, we want to make sure we cover everything. We want to cover it all. And so we have to talk a little housekeeping, if you will. We have to have a little housekeeping. And this is not meant to be Lester going off on a rant or here goes Lester trying to spoil, the party. But listen, housekeeping, Jim, just basic housekeeping is that you have to remember, friends, that and I'm just going to say in any relationship, you know more about this than I would. I've only had a couple of relationships, but in any I'm joking. I'm playing with you. But there's a lot of, what, baby? I'm joking.
I'm gonna knock you clear off this chair today. I feel it coming. My elbow is strategically positioned right in front of you.
This is my bad shoulder. You don't want to make it worse.
I won't hit your shoulder. I'll hit you in the middle and make it square. It'll be fine. It'll be an accident, and everyone will vouch for me on this too.
So someone says Jamie always has the final say, and Penny, you're right about that. Jamie, what? That's why I was going to talk first, and then let Jamie try to fix all that I said wrong. Jamie can fix all that I get wrong. But I feel like we're at a point in our relationship with you all to where you don't realize that the evolution is we are evolving into a much deeper level. And for some reason, a lot of people still want and they demand the bliss that you had when we first met. And in saying so, I'll just kind of put it into simpleton terms. We probably met through a viral video. We probably met through a very popular video, maybe not viral, but one that had a large reach and a lot of shares. And you all came to find the page through one of those kind of videos. And more than likely, because Facebook and YouTube does this, once you watch a video, they will recommend another video that they want to hook you into video. So that's their hook, line, and sinker. And so it's very likely that many of you guys came to the page from a series of the hand squeeze could break his hand today. That's Bailey. Bailey, you're on my side. Bailey, you are Team Lester, Bailey. Bailey and I share something in common as far as both being survivors of a horrific hurricane flood. Anyway, but no, so you came to us and you.
Somebody says, are you breaking up with us, Lester? You're really struggling with this. So let me help you.
No, I am not stumbling. It's because you're interrupting me with all of this other stuff that you're doing. You're distracting me, and I need to stay focused here. What I'm trying to say is,
hold on, show him what you're doing. Show him what you're doing right now. He's literally holding my hand right now.
So you will stop pushing buttons. She just keeps pushing buttons. The truth of the matter is those videos are out there, but they're not every single video. You don't get a blockbuster every single video, but what you do get every single day is another day in the life of the Sanctuary, Longhorn Lesters, Suits to Boots, whatever we're making a video of. What you're seeing is a life, a moment, a captured moment in the day of. And there's a growing demand, and this is the way people are saying it. I used to like the old page when the videos were more this or more that or more this or more that. And so those, you know how I am about video comments. I like to keep up with the comments because I want you to drive the channel. I do. I want you to drive the channel. But ultimately, when you go out to make a video, not every video is going to be the blockbuster. Not every video is going to be the one, the jaw dropping, oh my God, I can't believe that just happened. And you wouldn't want it that way, because the only way that can happen is to have a script, video. And you don't want a scripted channel. I promise you, you don't want a scripted channel. So we try to show everything that happens in the life, in the day in the life of, but you ready to start talking to fix all this? But not every video is the blockbuster that brought you to the channel. Those moments will be captured if we can, but they have to happen on the animal's time, not on my time or not on your time. I would love it if I could walk out there every single day and capture another blockbuster moment for you. But all I can do is walk out and video what I see on any given day. And just understand that what brought you to the channel, the reason that you were recommended to watch this channel was because Facebook and YouTube were taking our blockbusters and saying, here's what you get from this channel, here's what you get from this channel. And so you misunderstood that to meaning, oh, so all this channel does is produce blockbuster after blockbuster after blockbuster. And that was because that's the way they wanted you to hook you.
Is it my turn? Is it my turn?
Help.
So Lester forgot to start with, there are many people who are leaving comments saying, I miss the old days. I know he put that in the middle. I miss the old days, and your videos aren't the same anymore, and you all aren't the same anymore. So we were driving home, and I was like, it's kind of like a relationship. In the beginning, when you meet somebody, you kind of ignore all of like their reality, right? So it's this love goggled view that you get of the person that you're learning about, and you see these really neat and exciting things that have never been a part of your life before, and it's all fuzzy and warm and exciting, and oh my gosh, it's amazing. And then you start to have this lustful like desire to spend time with them, and you give them some of your time, and you start to invest yourself. And as you're investing yourself, you start to see that they have some quirks, but you love them so much you look away. Like, okay, in a relationship, it's probably the way they chew, where they leave their shoes and underwear, the way that they, whatever, leave the dishes. Okay, so like I use the analogy while we were driving and talking about this. I was like, it's like in the beginning when a man offers to cook you dinner, and when they cook you dinner, you're so excited about dinner that you didn't care that they left all the dishes sit, and you didn't mind helping or pitching in to clean up and to do it together because it was time together, and you didn't care if you were, shoveling shit as well, that it was time together. And then as your relationships progressed and you got to know each other, those things became chores, or maybe even pet peeves or annoying things about like you didn't want them to cook you dinner because all that meant was that you had to do the dishes, and it wasn't a full-on thing. So I, and use that analogy in the way of our videos of people who have been a part of our lives, like lives, not social media, a lot like Facebook Go Live. People have been a part of our lives for a long time. They've gotten to know us. They know the good, bad, and the ugly. Suddenly, they know that we can have flaws that include us overreacting or maybe getting mad or going on rants or whatever the case is. And the people who are here for the long haul and choose to love us for all that we are the people that are like, I love every day. I love just spending time with you. It helps with my loneliness, or it helps, it brings me back to a time from before. But then there's other people who are like, I'm only here for the party. I don't want to spend every day with you, and I don't want to be in a relationship with you. But if you want to call me at 3 a.m. when I'm bored, then it's okay. So I hope, did I make sense there at all?
I just want to talk about what Carol said.
God, Lester wants to talk.
God, Lester wants to talk. I hope that y'all notice how patient I was being. But this is something that we have not discussed ahead of time, but this is true. This is true with everybody, I believe, not just Lester, but I think most of you can. This is going to be a really nice analogy. When I used to go out, back in the old days of going out, I would, number one, obviously you would shower, you would shave, you would do all that, you would groom. Let's just say groom. You would groom. And then from the from the inside out, you would put on your best of everything, your best of undies, your best of socks, your best of jeans, the ones that really accentuated what you want to accentuate. You would tuck your shirt in, you put on that belt with that nice belt buckle. You would go all out. Then you make sure that you smelled good. Underarms, deodorant, anywhere. I mean, you did it all. And then when you got to the club, you stood up straight and tall, you walked in, and you wanted to make that amazing impression because the people, hold on, don't you leave Carol's comment. Carol says, Lester,
but I have one that's so good.
Go ahead, but please let me keep talking. But don't think that Lester was the only one in that club or in that bar or at church who was doing that. Because them ladies also were wearing matching bras and panties. They were also.
Y'all know that's a big deal, right? Like we don't do that on a daily basis. That's not.
No, they don't. They were also done up from the inside out. And so what you get. What,
Karen Glenn.
Jamie?
Karen Glenn wins the comment of the day. You put socks in your pants.
Karen, that was a one-time thing, Karen. Now I'm red. This is Karen. Karen, you need to delete that comment before I have to do that.
No way. That's top notch, Karen. Thank you for that.
Karen, that was a one-time event. Now stop. Take it away. Jamie, delete that. Karen, I love you, but that's a little bit too far.
That's the comment of the day. Thank you for that.
My shoulder hurts. Can you hold my hand down here?
Oh, okay.
So bottom line is that is true. That was your first impression, and you wanted to do everything right. Say everything right. And do everything right. And if you could find that perfect connection, then you go to step 2 and step 3 until you hopefully find yourself in a relationship. But in that relationship, at some point comes other things that are not always so pretty. Maybe the way you wake up is not the same look you had when you fell asleep that night, and the way that you talk in the morning may be a little gruff and rough and whatnot. And then the way that so bottom line is relationships evolve, and you have to decide if you are going to be there for the long haul. If Karen Glenn said something else mean, Karen, I love you, Karen. It's life. Not every day are going to be a Carl ripping Lester's pants off. It could be a Timmy snuggling in a bed of hay day or a scary worry about Dixie day. We never know. That is what I was hoping to get to. Lisa, if I could have summed this entire thing up.
You could have saved us 15 minutes.
Yes, I could have saved 15 minutes, Lisa, if you would have got on to this and helped us a little bit. Lisa, for Facebook, they don't know what Lisa says. Lisa says, this is life. Not every day is going to be a Carl ripping off Lester's pants. It could be just a tiny Tim in the hay, a snuggle up. It could be a scary worry about Dixie. You never know. And that's the beauty of it. You never know what you're going to get. But I feel myself having to defend at the end of a video. Because, well, another thing, we video every single day. We're not like most channels who give you 2 a week, maybe 3 a week if they can find time. We're not going to come in and say, sorry, folks, no video today. We're busy. We're never going to do that. Never. So you're going to get a video every single day. That is our gift. That's our paying our blessing forward of the beauty that goes around here. But that means that we don't have 3 or 4 days to compile that blockbuster video that you all need. But it is the video that you're going to be able to go to like clockwork every morning at whatever time you drink your coffee, and there's going to be a video there. Or every afternoon when you sit down with your husband or your wife to have a drink or a cocktail or a glass of tea, there'll be a video there. And so that's kind of the exchange. We'll do that the best that we can. And they only bring it up because it started off in a couple of comments here and there, and now it's carried over into my email. And so when people are emailing you, wondering what's going on, why they don't see, and that at that point, you're like, I don't know what else. So I thought I would just address it. I
thought we were going to go down the path of like, tell us the worst thing that's ever changed from the day you met somebody to the day later that you discovered.
Well, I'm done. I'm done with my housekeeping. That would be a really fun
event.
I'm just so happy that Lisa gets it. Lisa gets it. It'll always be something. It'll always be something, Lisa. I just can't always say it's going to be Carl ripping my pants off. Okay? Let's hope we don't have every day like that. All right.
Are you good now? You feel
I'm
better?
good. I feel better. Now, I'm not going to say it's going to change because that's sometimes things don't change. You can say it all you want to, but it's not going to change. But I just hope you understand that's our perspective is um, capturing all that we do.
Well, here's no. Let me sum it up even more. We literally walk outside and show you what's going on in the day. That's it. So not every day in our lives are crazy things happening. Thank God. Sometimes there are insane things. Sometimes there's sad things. All that. So we just kind of give it to you as it comes, and we roll with it. I'm laughing because there are people confessing some things that happened to them, and I have to
Like
tell.
what? I haven't been
I
able to
don't.
read.
Okay, well, I want to tell one of mine just because it's funny, and even though this isn't Time Out Tuesday, I just thought I'd just let it all hang out. Okay,
Oh,
you know this story. I've told you this story.
okay.
I dated this guy, who was very fun. I was young. I was like 18. I think he was 21-ish, something like that. And I probably had been dating him for a few months and spent the night at his house. He lived about an hour away, and he had a waterbed. Yes, they still existed. They might still exist today. I don't know. But I woke up one morning at like 4 a.m. and he was in the shower. And I was like,
Oh God, yeah, this is that story.
what is going on?
Huh.
Like, what is going on? I'm like, what are you doing? He goes, you might want to get up and shower. And I was like, okay. I realized at that point in time that my whole side was wet. So I thought that the water bed had like sprung a leak, which happens. If anybody's ever had a water bed, they know that happens, right? He's like, yeah, I'll wet the bed. You might want to get up and shower. And I was like, he was a funny guy. Honestly, he wasn't very good looking. He was just funny. And I just thought that he was joking. He goes, no, really, you're going to want to get up and shower. And I was like, so here's the worst part. It is probably 3 other times that I slept there before that I woke up and parts of the bed were wet. And I always just thought this is an old water bed, and I just never said anything during that time. No, he wet the bed. That was the last time. I definitely showered at 4 a.m. and left and never looked back. So there's my biggest didn't know until you knew thing in a relationship. Thanks for not wetting the bed.
That is one thing I've not done, Jamie. So something else just funny. So I just blocked a person who, there's no big deal, no big deal. Everyone is entitled to their opinion, but remember that this is our channel. And so for those mean opinions, you can go open your own channel and you can say all that you want to say about Lester. You can say all you want to talk about me, but you're not going to come on my channel and sit there and blast me in the comments and try to draw in all the support. So that took me maybe 2 seconds to do that.
Somebody else had somebody that wet the bed and he blamed it on his dog. That's a good one too.
So here's the thing though. I kind of feel sorry for that guy because that means that somewhere today who was a 21-year-old guy is a 40-something-year-old guy. And it makes me wonder if he still has those kind of issues because for some reason he had to have that issue.
All I can think it was drinking. I think is really, so maybe he stopped drinking by now. I mean, that's a long time ago.
That never happened to me, but that could happen. People could find themselves or they're not themselves.
Young. We were young and dumb.
But this is kind of funny. But you cannot take NyQuil or you will drool on yourself. Literally like drool out of her mouth down the pillow. And
Lester, when I'm sick, I'll be like, just take some NyQuil and get yourself a good sleep. I'm like, you don't understand. It like puts me in a coma. Even half of a dose, I'm done. And it's like my whole system just shuts down and I'm drooling on the pillow, sometimes sleeping with my eyes open. Like it is toxic to me, I guess. I don't know.
Not toxic. It just puts you into that deep of a sleep where you even lose control of some of your bodily functions.
Like swallowing?
Like swallowing. That's pretty bad. That's pretty bad. Oh, that's pretty bad.
Somebody says I miss having a water bed.
I do too.
You had one?
Oh yes. Oh
My mom had one.
So listen to this. This is crazy. This is how old I am. I had a circular water bed. My water bed was in a circle. It was my first apartment, and I probably spent more money than what I had because I just needed to have this unique water bed. And so it was circular. And the problem with the circular bed is it's cool. And it's kind of like it's
why are you turning red again?
So having a circular water bed was different, and not everyone had one. And I will just say it was kind of like equivalent to a guy having a big fancy truck, or a guy driving around in a fancy sports car. So it was hard for anyone to resist getting in that big fancy truck, or for that girl turning down a ride in that red fancy Corvette. And so all I'm saying is the waterbed was hard. So the waterbeds here. The funniest thing about the waterbed, though, is that I am a very spatial reasoning kind of guy. This has not come about.
I seriously was thinking about this.
Listen,
where did you put it?
This did not come about just recently. I've always had a weird thing for spatial reasoning. Everything has to be lined up and squared. And, I need parallel in my life. I need perpendicular, parallel. I need that because I can't. And that waterbed, as cool as it was, it wouldn't fit against the wall right, because there was picture trying to put a circle in the corner, and that doesn't work. You can't make it work. And so I tried to do different things to center it, but there's always these nooks. There's nooks everywhere.
Because it's a circle.
It's a circle. And in a
How
square.
How did you find sheets for it?
No. They sold sheets and comfort. Everything was made for it. Now they didn't make half moon pillows, so I had to actually have weird pillows. But no, everything was made for a circular waterbed. And I'm wondering if anyone else knows about those. But I did have one for a while. And
I have never heard of one of those. And you've never told me the story. That's so funny.
Well, Jamie, I can't say I've told you all of my stories. I mean, you've told me the one about yours.
I'm totally okay without hearing those stories.
I think that we're better that way. Wow.
Somebody says, I think we should start talking about kittens instead. It's getting crazy in here.
That's fine. I've been out with the kittens today, as a matter of fact, and I had so everyone knows. I say everyone. I don't know if everyone knows this or not, but so yesterday was the first day that we opened the stall door. It was 4 days since we moved the kittens into the stall, and so yesterday was the opening the door day, where we give the kittens access to stay in the stall if they want to. They still have their pine shavings. They still have their litter box. They still have their food, their water. They have the cat tower, the tower that we got them. But they also have access to come out and look around. And so we did notice a couple of kittens ventured out to look around. But every time we went to check on them, the majority of the kittens were back inside the little room. They feel safe and they feel comfy inside the stall. Last night, we opened the door just so far, so the kittens could come out if they wanted to, but then we tied it. So nothing big, nothing larger could come in and push its way in, just in case we had some kind of a dog or something mean show up. Cornholio, the big birds can't get inside there, only so much, so the kittens could come out if they wanted to. And so all 5 kids are doing great. Someone says Hissin Boots. They don't want Puss in Boots. They want Hissin Boots as the name of that hissy kitty.
So the runt, which is not Brad, there's a little one that's black and white. It's a male. I am in love with that kitten. It is the most active and go outside one, and I'm struggling to find a name for him that suits him so far. I know that, like, there's a video where Brinley names all the cats that's coming out.
They're all Oreos. Oreo.
They're all food anyway. And with Lester and I, we've always been like, spend time with the animal and let's work on a name. So I really am looking for a name for this little guy, because I have just fallen in love with this sweet little thing. And of course there's Brad. Can I tell the funny story about my? Yeah,
but Brad's not changing. Brad is going to be Brad. Yeah, Brad the Brave, or Brad Braveheart. I'm calling him. I like to create powerful, majestic names for everything.
So I have family members, aunts and uncles, who don't have time to watch the page or don't always watch the page. And my brothers do. And my brothers have known that we have animals here that have names that are my family members' names. And at Christmas, I had to confess one of the names because it's funny. And now I have to confess the other, which is also hilarious. So I have an aunt named Peggy, and we have a pig named Peggy. And now I have an uncle named Brad. My favorite uncle, my godfather's name is also Brad. And it happens to be a cat. And use your imagination on what my brothers referenced that I was naming our animals after for my aunt and uncle. So it's been a very fun, comical thing in my family about the types of animals that I've chosen to name. But even though I didn't name Brad or Peggy, actually, the types of animals that hold names here that my family has the same names for. So kind of funny.
Well, we have an ostrich named Tina.
Yeah,
and I have a sister named Tina, so I don't know. I would think it's kind of a compliment.
It is a compliment, but
of
it's
course,
funny.
Peggy is a pig.
Yeah.
So that might kind of be a little bit more, but yeah, it is what it is. Jamie, I have a question that I would like to get people's comments on. Now, I haven't asked you this yet. This is like very.
Give me your hand. Okay. Let's try this now.
Okay, so I'm noticing something, and I've been noticing this the last several times that we've gone live. So there are 2,500 folks watching on YouTube, and there's 2,000 folks watching on Facebook. Mm-hmm. Those numbers have flip-flopped. And I just want to know why. It doesn't matter to us. I just want you to have a pleasurable viewing experience. But I am wondering this is not the first time. But what has caused those numbers to flip-flop and change? And I want to make sure it's nothing that we're doing wrong. Now, if it's something what's wrong? Are you double pumping? You're double handing me now.
I'm just holding on just to
talk about it if you want to, or take it over if you want to.
No. Some of us double dip, and whichever stream they pop on. Facebook's annoying. YouTube is a nicer crowd. I don't have Facebook.
Okay, here's one that makes a lot of sense to me. The view is larger on YouTube. So YouTube is still in I don't know what they call that ratio. It's a 16-to-1. It's a weird number, but YouTube still uses this format because most YouTubers watch on a device,
on their TV.
Or on their TV, computer, laptop, iPad. But so is that the reason that people have shifted? Because
that's a lot of people are saying landscape versus
portrait. Landscape versus portrait. I'm just wondering because what does that right there say from
I watch
Teresa?
Facebook during the day and YouTube when I go to bed.
Oh, okay. All right. So I was just making sure it wasn't something that we had done. So I think that if there's no commercials on YouTube, I prefer the YouTube angles. Facebook is annoying with all their ads. I can't control that. I watch YouTube so I can play games at the same time.
I get that though, because it will shrink so that you can do things on your device at the same time.
But only if you have premium, I believe, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah, only if you have the YouTube premium. I'm not sure. So I'm not able to read both ways. Mm-hmm. I think people like myself who double dip, and today I didn't see the live stream on YouTube before it came up. Okay. So I don't guess there's anything that we're doing wrong. And I was just making sure that we hadn't done anything on our end. And so I'm just curious if what I see the most is the ratio or the aspect ratio.
Sideways, yeah.
And so a lot of folks are preferring to see all of the stuff around us, not just the center.
You want to see my whole dirty house instead of just Lester in my face. I get it.
Okay. So Facebook is portrait, YouTube is, it went too fast, landscape, and landscape gives you more view. So here's my thing though. So could I ask this question? Could you just say me if you're watching on a phone? Is that too much to ask? If you're watching from your phone, could you just say me? And then I'm curious if from a phone, if it's better up and down compared to side. Does that make, am I getting too technical for everybody here?
I think that was a lot. There's a lot of me's on YouTube.
So there's me's on YouTube's, but if you're watching from a phone on YouTube, but you're watching from a phone, is it just this little small part of your screen here?
They probably turn it.
Or do you turn your entire phone this way to get like this over here? I don't know, Jamie. I don't know. We just want to do what we can do. So anyway.
You know, Lester, he aims to please.
I do. I really do. No one gets that about me. I just want to make everybody happy. So a lot of people turn their phones. They're watching from their phones on YouTube. They just turn their phones. to get the full view.
They don't like so much of our faces up in their business.
Oh, you don't like this? You don't like that?
Actually, I prefer to be back anyway, so
I
that
will
works out
too.
great for me.
I will too.
Yeah, there's a lot of people that say side to side's better.
All right. Well, I don't mind going side to side. I don't mind doing it that way. I know that. What? Jamie, you already know me. I will go side to side. Or why do you got to make everything like that?
Somebody else said it. Someone else said it, and I read it, and I can't. I have to stop reading comments, or I'm gonna. Anyway,
a lot of people accuse me of being the naughty one or the dirty old man. I cannot believe how many times I got something to tell you. I got a story to tell you all. I got a story to tell you all. You ready to hear this? You want to hear this? Okay, I'm going to tell you.
I'm so nervous.
You want to hold my hand?
I think I should hold both hands.
Listen, here's my hurt shoulder. Be careful. I got a story that's going to blow your mind. So Jamie is right. I am an analytics kind of person. I don't always know what's what, but I can read numbers, and I try to make heads and tails of numbers. And there was one day when we noticed that we had lost 13. We'd lost 13 people on our page. And what's wrong? Y'all stop the comments. Jamie can't focus. So one day we had lost 13 people on our channel, and that's crazy because you want to gain people on your channel. And so Jamie digs a little bit deeper, and it ended up that the video that cost us 13 beautiful human beings who normally watched us was the video that I made out in the hay barn when I was trying to use my body weight, my center of gravity, to help put the hay, to stack the hay. I used my center of gravity like a trapeze artist to push up the hay. And for some reason, 13 people found that to be distasteful. And they said, I'm never watching this channel again. And they left the page to never see us again. 13 people. And that just broke my heart that I'm like, I'm using my center of gravity like a trapeze artist does to lift heavy weight. And 13 people found distaste in that.
Here's what I want to know.
Hold on. 13 people who could not understand that I just lifted 80 bales at 100 pounds each using my center of gravity, and I lost 13 people. But wait, I'm not done with my story yet. Jamie. Would you believe that we lost 31 people yesterday? You want to know from what video? From me feeding the turkey from my mouth. So 13 people could not handle, oh, no, I'm not going to watch Lester thrust up that hay using his center of gravity. I don't care. I will never expose myself to watching Lester thrust anything, especially if he's already had to thrust up 80 bales of 100-pound. Oh. And then if I thought, okay, so Jamie, I get it. People are old-fashioned Bible Belt people. They didn't get the art. They didn't get the art of the belly thrust to get the hay lifted to a heavy height. And then if 30 more didn't like, what a disgusting individual. What a horrible human man to put a dinner roll on his tongue to feed his turkey.
Hold on.
What, Jamie? What are you going to say?
Anyone else wonder what the hell trapeze artists that Lester has seen do movements like that? Because when I think of a trapeze artist, I think of them swinging from the ropes in the ceiling and catching each other and do all these things. What in the Texas trapeze artist crap have you been watching?
Okay, maybe that's the wrong word, but it's the kind of guys where one will stand up and down, one will go across his head. Then that person will have two people standing on top of him, and then one person will be lying here, and a fourth or a fifth person is going across this over here. It's kind of like cheerleaders do, sort of, except they're not. It's a human being who one person is standing here. There's a man going across his body who's perfectly still. Then there's two people one standing on his chest and one standing on his knees. And then there's another person, two people lying this way or this way. I don't know what you call those.
Acrobats, love.
Acrobats, fine. Acrobats, not trapeze artists. But acrobats can do crazy things by using their body weight, their center of gravity. And I use my center of gravity and make a little video about it. And if 13 people don't find that to be so disgusting and so distasteful, and they leave the page forever, never to return. And I was so hurt by that. I was so hurt by that. And if I didn't, lo and behold, yesterday I have Al Davis sitting on my shoulder, and I'm like, I'm just gonna feed him from my tongue. Why not? Why not? Just why not? And if I wasn't hurt by 13 people leaving, then I had 31 leave yesterday because they could not stand to see me feed Al Davis.
Listen,
from my
Lester
tongue.
has one feeling left. Okay,
if
you could all just be a little bit gentle this week, with like he needs a little. Could y'all just play nice in the sandbox? Come be mean on my channel. It's fine. I can take it. But Lester has one feeling left, and it's he needs some tender love and care this week. Please, please.
Oh my gosh. No, it's just the life that we lead. Is that did I say it right? The life that you lead. That's the kind of stuff that where is Al? He's out in the barn. I got him. I wanted to bring him in, and she wouldn't let me. I says, can I bring Al? And she says, no.
Not today.
No, what you said was Al's kind of a Lester video thing. Not that's because she don't want to clean up poop.
That I don't want to. Okay, first of all, the message that someone recorded a snip, not the message. I got a message last night of Lester's voice only, and it says, "Baby, can you please wipe that off on my back? It's running all the way down to the floor, and it just feels weird." I'm like, no, I don't want to. No, I don't want to clean up all of the Al mess. Today, I have a lot of things that I want to do. And so if we could just do a live without Al today, that would be super great. You can go make a video with Al and hang out with him all you want to, but I don't want to scrub the floor and the counters and your back again today, okay?
Thank you. Yeah, no, we just have fun. And for all the folks who just are like so turned off by different things, sheesh, guys, you're very sensitive, and that's fine. I've always said, go find your happy place, and I believe that there's a lot actually there's 50 million people trying to make it in this social media market. So you don't have to stay with just us. We will continue on. I promise you that we will continue on. I might have a hurt feeling here and there, but the thing is, it doesn't tell me what 13 you are. So I can't come hunt you down. I'm not going to come hunt you down. And then for the 31 that left yesterday, I'm not going to come look for you and say, what did I do wrong? You're gone. What's wrong?
That's very aggressive.
No. Someone says 30 left, 300 joined. Actually, it was more like 3,000. Guys, we are so blessed to have
Lester's crazy mind of, hey, I'll try this. And here's something. Somebody said something the other day. It's like, Lester, do you like sit here and think about these things?
Oh,
and
that hurt my feelings. That was hurtful.
Oh my God. He's like, do you sit here and think about these things for likes and views? And I replied to that, no. He would be doing them for me only if social media didn't exist. This just happens all the time.
So I took down your reply and I replied myself. And I says, what you don't realize is that you're watching a creative genius at work. Yeah, I did that.
My response was way better.
No, you only had like 13 likes on yours, but when I put mine up there, it had like 500. People love the way that I came back to that one with a little bit of fire. It is what it is. But no, it is being real. Someone says, just be real. Keep it real. And y'all, we keep it real. We keep it fun. We keep it entertaining if we can. Edutainment is what we always say. Oh, I just saw my favorite commenter pass by, Vanessa Marie. It's the people pleaser in him. He just wants to bring joy, knowledge, and entertainment. Vanessa always says the kindest things, Jamie. I don't know her. I've never met her in my life. I don't even know where she's from. But there's never going to see a time when she's in a comment that's going to be something mean. I can tell you that over there. And so I call it edutainment, Vanessa Marie. I call it edutainment because there's a lot of folks that say they learn stuff from this channel. Believe it or not, they do learn stuff.
Lester says, hold my Dr. Pepper. That's the truth. There's a lot of times it's just like, baby, hold this. I got to go do this, this, or this. And I'm like, you have to do what? Yeah. Lester's the only man that I know. Like I said this before, and maybe it was at that YouTube conference that we went to. As far as like his imagination and his ability to recall things, we could both make the exact same trip to the mailbox. And mine was just a trip to the mailbox. I might have literally tripped, or I may have had to step over a puddle, but nothing amazing happen. Lester could be walking right next to me, and there was a stampede, and we literally experienced the same thing. But there's a stampede. Somebody was out there looking like they're all in love. Somebody's out there hungry and is on the search for food, and somebody's feelings are hurt, and all of these magical things happen. And it's and like
I live in a fantasy world. Is that what you're saying? I live in a fantasy world.
But what it's done is open my eyes to be able to see what is literally happening around me. Because I think as adults, we start to lose that magic. We start to lose the way that we see the world, and we become cynical and very much in our routine. And it really is just about having to go to the mailbox. But for Lester, it's getting to go to the mailbox and getting to see all of the things that are happening in the world around you. And I like that is one of the greatest gifts that he's ever given me, is the ability to really see and then to put that into a video and to show you the magic that's happening when day to day it might not appear so magical if you're living it and breathing it and doing it. So
wow, thank you. So I add stuff to your life, then I add some stuff to your life. That's all I took out of that.
Oh, you add some stuff.
Anna says, I like your silliness, Lester. It's very creative. I don't know. Is that? Thank you, Anna Marie, from Canada, eh? And
Lester made a Stephen King movie out of his trip to the mailbox with the being creepy to the mailwoman.
Someone said it's the language arts teacher in me. That might be true. That might be true. You know, I've always talked about if I could ever go back to teaching, I would go back as a sub. I would never want to go back to the classroom full time because, believe it or not, you probably already know this, but there's a whole lot that's asked of teachers that not asked, that's demanded of teachers that go well beyond your 8-hour workday. What you got there?
I don't know yet.
So there's a lot that is demanded of teachers that go well beyond your 8-hour workday. Yet you can, if you have a degree, you can go be a substitute teacher, make almost the same dollar amount with no benefits though. Yet no grade book, no lesson planning, no meetings, no tutorials, no duty before after school duties. And I'm like, you know what, Jamie? I'm really enjoying what I'm doing right now. But if I ever go back to teaching, I'm going back as a sub. And what I'm going to go into the classroom with is a bunch of stories. I'm just going to go in there and tell stories. And I'm going to tell stories all day. I'll read, I'll create, I'll tell scary stories, fun stories. And what a fun day that's going to be if I ever do that. For now, I'm just going to keep driving a bus and creating stories for Jamie about the mailbox, our trips to the mailbox.
You create them for the world, silly.
Oh, so it's Monday morning in Melbourne, Australia. Just joined. Have I missed much? Cat orange whistling. What in the world is that code for? What is that code for? What kind of code is that?
That's an emoji, I bet you.
Oh, and it just, because it's in YouTube, it just put it.
Yeah.
Oh, Fiona, I like your name. Lester is a mind over matter kind of guy. That's cute. Oh boy. Anyway, what else do you got, Jamie? What else do you got? Because we've been keeping these folks for almost an hour.
So we're looking into Al things. I am about ready to cook Al's dinner.
You want to tell them what you're going to make, or is it going to be for your video?
I'm going to save it for a video.
Okay.
So we are reading a lot and learning a lot, and our vet is learning a lot on our behalf as well to help us through this. And then what else? We already talked kittens, and Christmas has not delivered puppies yet. So hopefully we're really hoping to be able to catch that when it's happening and to go live. I would love to be able to show you the birth of her babies. I think that that's a magical moment. We did that. We tried to do that with Meg back in the day. That was, in fact, one of our first lives that we ever did.
Do you think people, though, are going to be as receptive to a dog or a cat giving birth as they are to a farm animal? I don't see that.
I think so.
You do?
I think that it's an intriguing moment, and there's many. I mean, before Maggie, I never saw that happen before in my life.
Wow.
So I think that it's a neat moment to spend together. And I would love to bring it live, because I think that there's a lot of people who, while they've been around puppies, they may have never seen any be born.
Yeah.
And a lot of our followers are women, so many of them have probably had their own children. But have you witnessed anybody else give birth? I just think it's a moment. And for people who don't want to watch, they don't have to watch. That's okay. I would really like to be able to show that if I can.
Yeah. This Linda English, LYNDA, says, I watched an old video today, Lester, and realized that I do like one of your songs, the anxiety song. And you're not making it any better. Yay. I'm just trying to turn negative into a positive. Linda, what do I say to that, Jamie? How do I reply to Linda?
Linda did good. Thanks, Linda.
Thank you, Linda. We like the positives. Oh boy. No, anyway, we are very blessed, y'all. I will just say that again. I said it probably, I sound like a broken record when I just say how blessed we are. We never ever thought we'd find ourselves sitting here talking to 5,000 people on a Sunday afternoon. We could never do this in an auditorium. There's no way in the world that you and I could ever sit in front of an auditorium and talk to 5,000 people and they all here hollering back at us. But what a neat experience for both of us, and for, you know, our children, and for our family members who get a chance to be a part of this. So yeah, we love what we're able to do. We love being able to share the blessings of farm life with a lot of folks who, there's three people, I've said this before, folks who've always wanted the farm, who could never have one, folks who used to have a farm, but now they no longer are able to maintain it, or they had to move away for whatever reason. Maybe you married into a farm and then you moved out of it, I don't know. And then folks who actually have farms and you live this lifestyle, so you absolutely get where we're coming from. And so those are the three people that follow this channel. There's no other way to break it down. There's no other way to break it down. But we are very blessed to be able to have a way to come to you and talk about moments that are positive, moments that are inspiring with some of the animals that we get to be around and hang out with. Personally, I look for the moments to be able to vent and talk to folks who will listen, because I do believe that by and large, most of you guys have a lot more in common with us than what you realize. Maybe not my sense of humor, but I do think that we share a whole lot in common with the fact that we've sometimes found ourselves to be put aside, not to have a voice in a group, not to be able to express our feelings. And that list, y'all, if you get me talking, that list goes on and on and on. And I think this might be the first time in my life, this is in my life, where I've ever felt closer to people who I've never met in person. And how sad is that? Can I talk about what we talked about yesterday driving to Longhorn Lester's?
Why don't you save that for this week? We're sending on a really positive note. You want to talk about it anyway? Okay, go ahead.
No, I didn't know I was being negative.
You aren't. I just thought, never mind. You say it. Maybe I don't know what you're going to say.
No, it's okay. I'm scared to say it now. So
say it.
I didn't know I was being negative.
You weren't being negative.
I wasn't trying to be negative.
You weren't being negative at all. I didn't want people to feel sad about that is all. No? Say it. Now you got to say it, because now they're all waiting for it.
Now you just end this video on a positive note.
No.
Then someone says, Lester, just do the cowboy kiss and sign off. All right. That is easy enough. Cowboy kiss.
Y'all, thank you so much for joining us on this Sunday afternoon. We're going to go outside and do chores here. Then we have some more work to do at Longhorn Lester's. And I just want to say that you fill so much of our hearts and souls with such joy. And even though there are things that hurt Lester's one last feeling, but there is so much positive that comes from y'all, and we are thankful for each and every one of you and the time that you give us.
And I don't want to lose the last friend that I have, y'all. Please. I need you in my life. Kidding.
Y'all have a really wonderful Sunday evening, and we love you, and we'll see you tomorrow.